kind of going on another rant about, kind of like I did the Fallout video, but it's just going to be about Black Ops 4. So, now I'm going to be playing some zombies in the background while I kind of bullshit. So, yeah, just going right into this, I want to be starting off with the multiplayer mode. So, multiplayer in this Black Ops 4 is really different. They kind of went for a biggest kind of different approach on it, which I have no problem with that. I'm glad they did that and then just leave it exactly the same as Black Ops 3. But, you know, uh, it's very different in a good way. They kind of increased the health more than it used to be. And they added a new health system where you don't instantly regain your health. You don't have to instantly do it, but you have to press a healing button to heal yourself. So that's different. That's a new, unique thing. And, yeah. Now, the first thing that a lot of people noticed, probably, I mean, it was the first thing I noticed when I got onto the game and was looking through it, is that they added basically like they have in Fortnite, where you can go and buy cosmetics and stuff, and it uses the COD point system, so that connects, I'm pretty sure, with all the other Call of Duties if you bought any on them games. But yeah, so you can buy stuff like costumes and weapon variants, weapon camos, gestures, which I'm going to be talking about those later, and other little odds and ends that aren't really important. But, I mean, my biggest problem with the whole shop is the gestures. So, the only problem that I have with the gestures is the only time I ever use them, or in any game mode I ever use them in, is the Blackout mode, which is the Battle Royale mode they added this Black Ops game. But, just there's no time during a multiplayer match to say, oh, hey, I want to stop right here and joke around and do a gesture. It's not, and they take so long to get out of and stuff like that. Now, there's I didn't mean to hit that. But the gestures are pretty cool. There are some pretty funny ones, but for the most part, I mean, they're not really anything special, and most of them you've seen in other games with gestures. So, when it comes to the gesture part, it didn't really intrigue me. Fortnite. So, yeah. But, another thing that a lot of people thought was wrong with the Black Ops 4 shop was that the first thing that I noticed when I played was, when I was going through it, was there was a red dot for sale. Now, I didn't really think nothing of it. I was like, okay, so what? It's just a red dot. You don't have to buy it. You can unlock other stuff. But I guess this really bothered people a lot. And so I'm pretty sure they cut the price like halfway down for the like time that it was up, most of it. So it was like 50 instead of 100 COD points, I'm pretty sure. But I didn't see the biggest deal, but this was just one of the things that really hit the community. And, all over the internet, they were saying, oh, Call of Duty is trying to sell us something that we can earn in other Call of Duties. So what? You can pay for skins and stuff that you can get in other Call of Duties. It's the same thing, basically. But, nope, they had to basically throw a little fit. But, moving on from the red dot, which I had no problem with, the most of Black Ops 4 is like this, and that is, they just basically stole a lot of stuff from Black Ops 3, and you can tell this. They don't try and hide it. I mean, in the multiplayer mode, the specialist, basically all of them are fucking remakes. There's for instance, a Ruin, the Gravity Spike guy, the Battery Chick, and all that. And just, that kind of bothered me really bad. And, they didn't change their specialist up any. They changed the look of them, but when it came down to the whole gist of the specialist, they did not change it one bit. And I guess made me think, like, wow, you guys really couldn't have thought up of like a couple more specialists. And they're nothing really too exciting. The new ones are basically you can throw down some helpful ammo packs and stuff like that. And they all get their special grenade now, which basically you can have a grenade, a Molotov, stuff like that, or you can have the specialist character's weapon. So, you know, it comes down to the whole grappling hook and stuff like that, which when it comes to grappling hook, here recently I'm pretty sure they released an update where that charge faster, which is pretty useful because I used to hate how you could only use the grappling hook only a couple times per match before it was just gone, and you're just like, oh, so okay, that was useless. But along with the update, I'm pretty sure I've noticed that you can't really go as far with them, which is okay with me, but this is kind of something that bothers me. You know, they finally make something more like evened out, and then they have to ruin it again. But when it comes down to that stuff, the specialist, that never really bothered me. I'm not a big fan of using the specialist anyways. And yeah, so moving on from the specialist, the camos. Now, every Call of Duty's had camos, I'm pretty sure, but just this Black Ops, they had some pretty cool camos, pretty unique and cool. Just for the simple fact that you can't use all of them in other game modes. So, I mean, I got gold on almost all my assault rifles. I've been working on diamond, and I just can't. I noticed that I went to go put camos on all my guns, my newest camos, and it just didn't let me. It just said, oh, you know, this isn't available for this gun, or it's not there. It's not even an option. So straight up, that bothers me, because you can't use all the camos that you fucking worked for, and you do all this work for a camo, and you want to, like, use it, but you can only use it in one game mode. And that's how most of the things are. Just like the Blackout characters, you work and work on this new Black Ops pass, or Battle Pass, whatever it is, just to come to find out that basically whatever you unlock on there doesn't matter. It's mostly just for one game mode. It's leaning towards something. And when it comes down to the zombies, there's not a lot of zombie stuff. Multiplayer and Blackout, them kind of tie together to the point where, you know, you can get some stuff. Yeah, you get Blackout characters working in multiplayer, but you can also get guns that you can use and other odds and ends like that. And just one of the things that always irritated me is that you do all this work and you're just going to use it for one game mode. But the other types of camos were the Mastercrafts, and I'm pretty sure it was called camos are that move. And you get most of these from the Black Ops Pass. You can buy some for not that much off the store, but basically most of the people are going to be getting the few are in the Black Ops Pass. And they're pretty cool, and you can use them in Blackout and multiplayer, but you can't use them in zombies. I just thought this would be really cool because in them games, you know, Blackout, you're not going to probably get that many kills with the weapon you have. And then multiplayer, yeah, they're going to be pretty useful, but not everyone loves the multiplayer game mode. Like me, I play multiplayer and zombies mostly, and I play Blackout too, but not as often as the others. And just when it comes down to the way that you can only use certain items in certain game modes, I feel like a lot more people would grind on the Black Ops Pass or pay COD points to build up to that. Just because, for the simple fact that, oh, hey, if I can use this in multiple game modes, and that would be way more worth it. But, you know, they kind of just left that out, which I didn't really care. It's just a camo, but just kind of irritated me that, you know, they might as well just add them in. There's nothing that could really mess it up. So what? There's a bright camo on zombies, but no, you can only use dull camos. But yeah, and then the Blackout, that's the Battle Royale, or the Fortnite version, basically, of this game, which everyone saw that coming right away. So they got rid of the campaign for this. They have some weird specialist campaign, but not a lot of people really like and care about it. And it's just a different experience. It's pretty cool. It's, a lot of good ideas that I like. You can have perks. You pick up attachments for your guns. There's multiple guns that are in there that are pretty cool and I like. But at the end of the day, it's just another Battle Royale mode. It's nothing special. And this is this is where you can use most of the Blackout characters. There's a few in the Black Ops Pass you can get. This is where you can only use some of the Black Ops characters, which I have no problem with. But on the Black Ops Tier Pass, I probably have not got that name right one time, but on the Black Ops Special Orders or something, where you just work on this, like, it adds tiers to the Battle Pass, and you can unlock special things, but most of them are, there's a Richtofen one, and then there's some other, like, odds and ends, but most of the stuff, like gestures and stuff like that, that's all going to come down to just being probably useful, mostly in, again, the Battle Royale, because, not a lot of people really care to go and spray paint and gesture in multiplayer, and it just doesn't even give you the option in zombies. I feel like this would have been a fun little thing to add in zombies. Maybe not the gestures, but the spray paints and stuff. That would have been something just kind of funny and something small that they could have added for that would really not take a lot of effort, probably. But yeah. Now in the Black Ops or Blackout mode, there's character missions you can do for certain multiplayer. Like, I'm pretty sure you instantly unlock all the multiplayer characters, but you can unlock special outfits. Most of these relating to the Black Ops 1 and 2 numbers, the flashing red numbers, which in my case, I think they're pretty cool, and not all the time are they worth it. But if you ever pick up a character mission, you might as well just get it done if you can. It's not worth getting yourself killed over. You always might find it later on. And then there's straight up characters you can unlock for zombies mode. Now this has the new Titanic crew, the Chaos crew, that has their regular selves, and then it has the 9 version of them, and it has the old and new versions of all the 4 main characters, the premise crew. And that's the ones that I mostly go for. I mostly go for all the zombie ones just because I want to collect all the characters. But when it comes down to it, I'm pretty sure those are the ones that are more worth it, because I'm not a big fan of the Chaos crew. Now I'm talking about that later. But yeah, some of these are pretty easy. Like, for instance, to get the premise Dempsey, all you gotta do is just pick up a Juggernaut bottle, which always has a certain spawn location, and then get a grenade kill. And that's just how most of the challenges go, if there's something like that. But there's just some that are just survive for so long. Like the Richtofen challenge is just pick it up. And I know for sure if you're in duos, it's you just survive till 3rd. You can just camp it out. It's worth it for the thing. You don't have to try and win. And yeah, there's just stuff like that. And I like the idea of the character missions, but sometimes I'll get pretty pissed off just because y'all be so close and then get killed over something stupid. But in the end of the day, I think it's a pretty good little add-on that they probably made a good choice doing. And also, you get the Shadow Man, which is a part of the zombie storyline when you buy the Battle Pass. So that's just one of them, like, little dumbass things that they can pitch in there just for another reason for you to say, oh man, I need to buy this Battle Pass. And yeah, so nothing too special, but they're just skins that you can wear, and people can go, oh wow, you paid $50 for that, good job. Or hey, you worked your ass off for that one, good job. But yeah, not a lot of really talk about the Blackout mode. Like I said at the beginning, it's just mostly Black Ops or Fortnite and a Call of Duty game, and I think they did a pretty good job on it. So yeah, zombies. That's the one I care about. Um, if you watch my channel, I talk about zombies all the time. It's just one of them game modes that I like to chill back and just play with either my family members or my friends, or just by myself. It's just one of them kinds of games. But this zombies, I was kind of bummed out. That it was not really what I was expecting, and I understand. I mean, other people loved it, so I mean they got what they wanted. But when it comes to it, at the end of the day, it still confuses me. I'm fucking prestige 1.5 almost. I'm still not fully sure about how some of the shit works. But this is one of them things that I guess it's my fault. It's not the game's fault. But yeah, it's really different from the perks to just basically anything you can think of. They started a new storyline up in this game mode. They added the Chaos Crew, which is Scarlet, Diego, Shaw, and Brutus, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember his name. But, this is like the first time that they kind of changed how all the characters were, from a big, tall, strong guy to a little, scrawny old guy to a chick. And I feel like they did pretty good. I mean, with the character design, I think they're pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of them, just because I don't really think they're that funny or just creative. I honestly would quite rather play as the Premise or the old crew. And the zombie maps that they featured on might have been a big ordeal or problem that I reasoned with. I can't speak. But I guess I wasn't a really big fan of the maps that they were featured on, such as the Titanic one. That one wasn't really my favorite cup of soup. It's just an elaborate maze through this boat until you end up somewhere that you might think you're right or wrong. But it's creative. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's creative. And yeah, so the Titanic map was pretty cool. They were also featured on another map called 9, which was basically a gladiatorial arena that they woke up in when they huffed this air stuff. Basically just did drugs and they were high. So they mentioned this through the entirety of the match. They're just like, oh wow, I can't believe I'm seeing a real tiger. Well, actually I'm not, because I'm tripping. And I'm like, oh, that's silly. So yeah, and they're all a bunch of criminals, so it's pretty funny just seeing a bunch of low-life criminal people fighting off the undead. But both of the maps basically don't even exist, so whatever happens in them doesn't matter to the story at all. And yeah, I just think that when they were designing these people, they were just thinking of, oh, how could we change it up and make it really cool and loved. But I feel like they kind of failed with the Chaos Crew. It was just basically Transit Crew 2.0. They not really loved people, and when they got killed in 9, they didn't even give us any time to get attached to the characters. Like at the end of Blood of the Dead, oh my god, people were, there's videos of just people crying because of Rick Toffin dying. And honestly, when I saw the video, it made me upset, just because, some games you die as the main character or whatever, and it makes you sad, but that was basically an instance for this game. But when they did it to the Chaos Crew, no one really cared. They were just like, oh, okay, well, that's the end of that story, great, don't have to see them again. But then they came out with the DLC map, which it wasn't that same 4 people, but they were still called the Chaos Crew, and they were 4 famous peoples. Don't really remember their names, but they played a part pretty good, I guess. And I didn't play this map a lot. I didn't get into it. I'm pretty sure it was like House of the Dead or like whatever. I don't remember. Not a lot of people played it when it came out. It was just kind of like an IW zombie map. It was released. They found the Easter egg in a matter of hours, I'm pretty sure. And they're just like, okay, good. We don't have to ever play this map again. And when I go into this zombies, I mean, I've played it when I first got the game. I played it too much, so I took a break for a while. But I'd rather play Classified or Blood of the Dead any day over them maps. I honestly don't like the three of them maps, and I can say probably for a bunch of other people that they probably don't like them either. And when it comes to Blood of the Dead and Classified, Blood of the Dead brings back the Premise crew, and I'm pretty sure the other crew is the Ultimus crew, or Ultimate crew. I don't remember their names. Don't hate on me. But yeah, so they brought the old characters back, which I absolutely loved because I always thought they were funny and not like the new versions of them, which were just very serious and bland. Like, I prefer the old Nikolai over the new Nikolai, the alcoholic, funny one. But, you know, at the end of the day, both of the maps that they were brought back in were just remakes. Now, Blood of the Dead, they changed it up quite a bit, making they brought back the fan favorite map, Mob of the Dead, which it was my favorite map, and I gotta say that Blood of the Dead's pretty high up there for me now too. It was just out of nowhere surprise, and I'm pretty sure when they released it, he kind of did like a joke or whatever. He's like, "Oh wow, I forgot," and then pulled up a trailer playing the theme song. Fucking awesome. But when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I had no plans of buying this game. I wasn't really excited for it. And then one map that I always liked, but I never was any good at all, was 5. And it's just, 5 was just such a complicated, dumb map. Pretty small too, and it still is the remake. But, the Pentagon Thief always came in and stole your guns and shit like that. And then that was basically the most exciting part. But in this one, I'm pretty sure they get there by Dempsey shoots a gun, a wonder weapon inside of a teleporter. They get sent there, and basically they just got to fight for their lives. So they brought back the wonder weapon, the non-fan favorite, Winter's Howl, and I'm pretty sure that it's way better in this version than the old version. And just at the end of the day, that Classified map is pretty good. They took out the Pentagon Thief. Not sure if I already said that or not. Which, that's a happy joy moment for me because I absolutely hated him. He was just a boss that I always hated. He was the worst one. He wasn't just a simple kill that threw it in a challenge. It was a special round for him, and he pissed everyone off. Yeah. There's not really a lot to talk about in zombies either. They changed up the entire perk, how you use perks and shit. And you create a class, you choose the perks you want, and that's the gist of it. They got rid of Juggernog, Speed Cola, and Double Tap. But I'm pretty sure as you buy your perks, you get perks that don't let you know you have them, but you get them. And I always thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I never really liked the idea of that. When I get it, I want to fucking know I have the perk and stuff, but yeah, that was something I feel like they didn't need to change, but they changed for sure on their end. And I mean, they can do whatever they want, it's their game, but they added special weapons. I thought this was pretty cool because they brought back a new version of the katana that Takio uses, and I spelled the wrong fucking thing, but yeah, they brought Takio's katana. The Ragnaroks from Horizon Drog. I don't think they're the same ones, but they're like it. It's basically another ripoff. And then for the Chaos crew, yes, there's like multiple different loadouts you can have for zombies. They have a sword shotgun thing, um, like a circular shuriken looking thing, a staff that can shoot a beam and or melee, and a big ass sledgehammer that you can slam down and stuff. And when it came down to all these special weapons, I never really was impressed. They look cool, and they just really help you out when you're going for a high round or something. And it's really cool how you can level them up and stuff. But once you level them up and all that, that's like, basically all you can do with them. They just a free weapon that you can use every so often that really helps you. And yeah, I thought they could have done something else with them, and I thought they were going to do something else with them, but they didn't. And yeah. And speaking of not changing stuff, they brought back the gumball type things, which are not gumballs. They're the elixirs. I'm pretty sure they're called. They're like drinks. And when you drink them, special stuff happens. Not really my favorite on how they work, stuff like that, but yeah, they're there, and I usually just use the main 4 that you can see on my screen now, because I usually forget I have them until higher rounds, and I'm like, oh, I better hit that, but I usually forget again. But yeah, one thing that was just a major thing that really made me mad was that they just ended the premise story. And I knew they were going to do this since then. I even told my father and all of them, I'm like, oh, they're coming back, because that's their money makers. They're little hordes of Call of Duty zombies. But, it's instantly, as soon as I saw the Blood of the Dead trailer, I'm like, oh, great. They did. I'm right. They brought them back. Why was I right? Why do they have to bring them back? I love the characters, don't get me wrong. They're awesome, and they're not really my favorite, but they're pretty cool. But they just now, I hope they, unlike a lot of people, I hope they bring back the transit crew. But if you ever pay attention, a lot of YouTubers talked about it. At the end of the Easter egg, this universe stops existing. So basically, if they didn't get out of here before that happened, then there's no chance of that. But yeah, so Zombies was pretty cool. I like it. Feel like it could have been changed. It could have had some better ideas and thoughts, but hey, it's pretty cool. What else? Well, the overall game itself, I feel like they could have got more creative with the weapons. This takes me back to the specialist. I feel as if they kind of got lazy when it came to the weapons and stuff like that. I understand it's not easy as 1, 2, 3, but just playing with the guns and seeing how they handle and shit, you can tell, oh, okay, this is supposed to be the CUDA. This is supposed to be the ICR. This is the KN. It's just, you can tell. They're nothing special. And, yeah, I got it. But, I feel like the weapons, just throw in a few extra that are newer and cool, not just, oh, the fans will love it because it's a remake. That's not how it always is going to work. Eventually we're going to get pissed off and say, nah, we need to put more effort into this before we start buying shit. And that's how I felt as soon as I started playing. I'm just like, oh, okay, this is just the KN-44, but just, it really just bothers me how lazy. They just basically redid the looks of all these weapons and said, oh, these are brand new, have fun. Now, yeah, I understand. Again, I understand it's not easy just coming up with shit like that on the spot. But I feel as if, as a game creator, you should have to promise or, throw something new in there. I mean, they can't even throw something new in when they add DLC weapons in. Not even just Black Ops 3, but for instance, now. They just added in a Cap 45, which is basically the Cap 40. And I didn't use the Cap 40 a lot, but still, it's cool. But you could have added something new, don't you think? But nope, they just changed the Cap 40 to Cap 45, and then apparently it's a brand new weapon to them. But yeah, the entire game itself, I feel like, is kind of rip off of Black Ops 3. And yeah, and then the Blackout Pass, I feel like that moves too slow. I've put in a lot of fucking time into that, and I barely made it far at all. So when it comes down to that, I feel like as if they should have just made it like a little bit, or maybe like double XP. Because I'm pretty sure might be wrong. I didn't really play a lot. I don't play often or on the weekends. But when the double XP is active, I'm pretty sure it doesn't count for the Black Ops Pass. So I feel like that should be a thing. Yeah. So not really a lot more to talk about. Just feel like the multiplayer was kind of a rip-off of its own game, which, I mean, that's, how all of the Call of Duties work, but this time they took it kind of too far. They added a specialist. Oh, wow, we had a specialist last time, but these ones have new stuff that's remastered old stuff. And then the increased health will be, and I guess kind of added a new feature, the health feature, and acted like they were like these geniuses. Like, oh yes, we have added in this thing where you have to heal yourself. Crazy, is not? But yeah, it's not. Blackout, again, don't really care. It's another battle royale, my favorite, and I feel as if it could have used some, different odds and ends in it. But I'm pretty sure they did pretty damn good for a Call of Duty game trying out a Blackout, or a Battle Royale mode for the first time. And taking out the campaign, I feel like that was a very big mistake. I mean, right? I've talked to people that are like, oh yeah, I play that shit for the campaign, it's cool. But when you take that campaign away, you're taking away more than you think. You're taking away like an entire like fan community of, oh yeah, that's cool, isn't it? Yeah, well, you're not going to have that anymore because we want to add something new. And I understand something new is not always bad, but for Black Ops, they should have just kept it the same. They would have made more money that way, I'm pretty sure. And finally got that damn skull. And but yeah, I feel as if they could have done the battle royale mode kind of better if they were going to do that, or the specialist better than that. But they didn't. Yeah, so I mean, most of the game it's okay if you're like, if you haven't bought it. I don't know why you'd be watching this if you want to buy it, but it's a pretty entertaining game. You get a lot of hours. The zombie mode, you have 3 maps to start off with. Now, I don't really like how the pass is I completely forgot. The season pass. I don't like how that is in this game. It's not how I like it. It's not how everyone else wants it. They made it this thing that's just kind of like, why? Why'd you change that? Now, It might just be me, and I'm most positively sure it's probably just me. But fucking my multiplayer downloads don't even work. Like, as if I don't remember what the last skull is. You know, I just completely forgot. Did you hear that? Yep, it's out. Gone. But overall, the game's a good game. Could have used some more creativity, but in the end, it's not my game. Doesn't really matter. The game's a good game. I feel like you should try it before you hate on it, but probably not, because that's how most Call of Duty players are. And I hope you all have a good day. This is Taco Luncher for Life. Signing out. And yeah. I hope you all have a nice day and live